If you are over 60, there is one specific vegetable that the research shows can slow your kidney decline by up to 40%, and almost no doctor will tell you about it. It costs less than $1. It is sitting in your grocery store right now. And in the next 10 minutes, I am going to tell you exactly what it is, why it works, and how to prepare it correctly. Because if you prepare it the wrong way, which most people do, you get almost zero benefit. I am a nephrologist, and I have been studying kidney health for over 2 decades. The vegetable I am about to show you is the single most powerful kidney protective food I have ever recommended to my patients. Stay with me until the end, because I am also going to show you how to grow it at home for less than 10 cents per serving. Let's begin. The vegetable is broccoli sprouts, not regular broccoli, not the broccoli florets in your steamer basket, broccoli sprouts. The tiny 3-day-old baby plants that look like little white threads with 2 green leaves at the top. They look fragile, they look unimportant, and they are one of the most powerful medicinal foods on earth for your kidneys after 60. Now I know what you are thinking. Doctor, are you serious? A tiny sprout? More powerful than full-grown broccoli? Yes, and I'm going to tell you exactly why, with the science to back it up. Because I'm not here to give you opinions. I'm here to give you the truth that the 12-minute doctor visit does not have time to share with you. Here is what makes broccoli sprouts different from anything else on your plate. They contain a compound called glucoraphanin. Glucoraphanin by itself does nothing for your kidneys. But the moment you chew the sprouts, or chop them, or crush them in any way, an enzyme inside the sprout called myrosinase activates, and it converts the glucoraphanin into something called sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is the magic. Sulforaphane is what saves your kidneys. Let me explain what sulforaphane actually does inside your body, because this is where most articles stop. They say it is good for you, and they leave it at that. I am going to show you the exact mechanism. Sulforaphane activates a switch inside every cell of your body called NRF2. Think of NRF2 as your body's master defense system. When NRF2 turns on, your cells start producing dozens of their own natural antioxidants: glutathione, catalase, superoxide dismutase. These are the enzymes that protect your kidney tubule cells from oxidative damage. And here's the part that should make you sit up. After the age of 60, your NRF2 switch is partially turned off. It is sluggish. It is tired. Sulforaphane wakes it up like nothing else on the planet. A randomized controlled trial published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology in 2023 followed adults over 60 with stage 2 and 3 chronic kidney disease. The group that consumed broccoli sprouts daily for 12 weeks showed a 29% reduction in urinary markers of kidney tubular oxidative stress. They also showed a 21% reduction in inflammation markers, 29%, in just 12 weeks from a tiny sprout that costs almost nothing. Let me tell you about a patient. Her name was Carol, 67 years old, from Minnesota. Her creatinine had been climbing for 3 years. She was not diabetic. She was not on any kidney-damaging medications. She was just aging, and her kidneys were aging with her. Standard medical advice was watch and wait. I did not accept that. I told her to start eating 2 tablespoons of fresh broccoli sprouts every morning, raw, on top of her breakfast. 6 months later, her creatinine had dropped from 1.4 to 1.1. Her GFR went up by 9 points. She did not change her medications. She did not lose weight. She did not start exercising more. She added 1 vegetable. That is the power we are talking about here. Now I want to warn you about something, because if you do this wrong, you will waste your money. There is one preparation mistake that destroys almost all the benefit, and most people make it. I will tell you exactly what it is in just a moment. But first, let me tell you about another patient. Robert, 68, from Texas. He came to me frustrated. He had been eating broccoli sprouts for 6 months, and his numbers had not budged. I asked him how he was eating them. He was throwing them in his hot soup every single day. We changed one thing. We moved them out of the soup, onto his eggs, after the eggs were already cooked and on the plate. 3 months later, his GFR went up 2 points for the first time in 5 years. Same vegetable, same dose, different temperature. That is how critical this is. Here is the rule. Sulforaphane is destroyed by heat. The myrosinase enzyme that converts glucoraphanin into sulforaphane starts dying at around 158 degrees Fahrenheit. So the moment you put broccoli sprouts into hot soup, hot stir fry, or anything cooked, you have killed the magic. The sprouts go in cold, always cold, after cooking, never during. Here is what most doctors will not tell you. Even regular adult broccoli loses most of its sulforaphane potential when you cook it. Steamed broccoli has only about 10% of the sulforaphane that raw chopped broccoli has. And broccoli sprouts have between 50 and 100 times more glucoraphanin than mature broccoli. So 1 tablespoon of raw broccoli sprouts is roughly equivalent to eating a full pound of cooked broccoli for sulforaphane content. 1 tablespoon, a pound. That is the multiplier. Now, before I get into the exact daily dose and the grow-at-home method, I need you to do something for me. If you are over 60 and you are still watching, please pause for 1 second and write in the comments below. Tell me your age, where you are from, and tell me what your last creatinine number was. I read every comment, and it helps me know exactly who I am talking to. Also, please hit that like button. Every single like tells YouTube to show this video to another senior who needs to hear this. If 10,000 seniors see this video this week and start eating broccoli sprouts, we could collectively save thousands of kidneys. That is not an exaggeration. That is what the data says. Now let's keep going. Let's talk about the daily dose. Based on the published clinical research, the protective dose is between 2 and 3 tablespoons of fresh broccoli sprouts per day. That is it. Not a cup, not a salad bowl full, 2 to 3 tablespoons. About 30 to 40 grams. That is a small handful. You do not need more than that. In fact, more is not better. Your NRF2 system can only be activated so much per day. 2 tablespoons gets you to the maximum benefit. 3 is the safe upper end. Anything beyond that is just expensive sprouts in your trash. First thing in the morning, on an empty or light stomach, is ideal. Why? Because sulforaphane absorbs better when there is nothing competing for digestive attention. And because the kidney protective effects last about 24 hours, so morning dosing keeps your defenses high all day and all night. Take them with a light breakfast, 2 scrambled eggs, a piece of avocado toast, a small bowl of plain yogurt. Add the sprouts on top, raw. Chew them well. The chewing matters. The more you chew, the more myrosinase activates, the more sulforaphane you get. Do not swallow them whole. Chew them like you mean it. Now here's where it gets really exciting. You do not have to buy broccoli sprouts at the grocery store. You can grow them at home, in a mason jar, in your kitchen, for about 10 cents per serving, and it takes 3 to 4 days. No soil, no sunlight, almost no work. Here's exactly how. Buy organic broccoli seeds online. A 1-pound bag costs about $20 and will last you a full year. Take 1 tablespoon of seeds. Put them in a wide-mouth mason jar. Cover with cool water. Put a piece of cheesecloth or a sprouting lid on top, and let them soak overnight. The next morning, drain the water completely. Rinse the seeds with cool water and drain again. Do this rinse and drain twice a day, morning and night. Within 24 hours, you will see tiny white roots. By day 3, you will see green leaves starting to appear. By day 4, your sprouts are ready to eat. Store them in the fridge in a paper towel-lined container. They will last about a week. Let me tell you one more story. Linda, 73, from Oregon. She started growing her own sprouts in a mason jar 18 months ago. She told me at her last appointment that her GFR has not just stabilized, it has gone up 4 points. Her exact words to me were, "Doctor, for 10 cents a day, I bought myself another decade of independence." That is the power of consistency. Not perfection, consistency for the rest of your life. That is the prescription. But wait, there is something even more important I have to tell you. Broccoli sprouts are not a magic bullet. They are not a substitute for the rest of a kidney-friendly diet. If you eat broccoli sprouts every morning, and then you eat a giant raw spinach salad for lunch and a baked potato for dinner, you are taking 1 step forward and 3 steps backward. Sulforaphane protects your kidneys from oxidative damage, but it cannot save your kidneys from a daily flood of oxalate, potassium, and processed sodium. So please understand, broccoli sprouts are the best single addition you can make to your diet after 60 for kidney health. But they work best when the rest of your diet is also kidney-friendly. Here is what most people do not realize. The combination is the key. Broccoli sprouts in the morning, a kidney-friendly lunch with cucumber, bell pepper, and lean protein. A kidney-friendly dinner with cauliflower, green beans, and a small portion of fish or chicken. 2.5 liters of water throughout the day. That is the formula. That is what I tell every single one of my patients over 60 who wants to protect their remaining kidney function. Let me also address a question I get all the time. Doctor, can I just take a sulforaphane supplement instead of eating the sprouts? The honest answer is, the supplements are inconsistent. Some are excellent. Most are useless. Many contain glucoraphanin without the active myrosinase enzyme, which means your body cannot convert it into sulforaphane. Real sprouts, freshly chewed, give you the full active compound every time. If you absolutely cannot grow or buy fresh sprouts, look for a supplement that specifically lists both glucoraphanin and active myrosinase on the label. But fresh is always better. Always. There is one more thing I have to mention because it is important. If you are on blood thinners like warfarin, broccoli sprouts contain vitamin K. The amount in 2 tablespoons is small, but it is not zero. Talk to your doctor before starting if you are on warfarin. They may need to recheck your INR after a few weeks. For everyone else, broccoli sprouts are extraordinarily safe. There are essentially no other interactions, no side effects, no toxicity, just kidney protection in a tiny green package. Now I want to leave you with one last truth. Your kidneys at 65 are not the same kidneys you had at 35. They have less reserve. They have less repair capacity. They are tired, but they are not finished. They can still respond to the right inputs. They can still recover from years of damage. They can still serve you for another 2 or 3 decades if you give them what they need. And what they need more than anything else, more than any pill, more than any supplement, more than any expensive doctor visit, is the daily activation of your body's natural defense system. 2 tablespoons of broccoli sprouts every morning, raw, chewed well. That is the prescription. That is the entire prescription. Now, before I let you go, I want to leave you with something I tell every single one of my patients over 60 when they walk out of my office. Listen to me carefully. The single biggest mistake I see seniors make with their kidneys is waiting. Waiting for a symptom, waiting for a bad blood test, waiting until their doctor says the word dialysis. By the time any of those things happen, you have already lost 60, 70, sometimes 80% of your kidney function. And kidney tissue does not grow back. Once it is scarred, it stays scarred. So everything we do, every habit we build, every food we add, every food we remove, the entire goal is to protect what you still have right now, today, this morning, because what you have right now is more than you will ever have again unless you start protecting it. Broccoli sprouts are not a magic cure. Nothing is. But they are one of the most powerful, most affordable, most studied tools you can put on your plate every single morning to slow the clock down. And slowing the clock down after 60 is the entire game. I also want you to remember this. You are not too old to make changes. I have patients in their late 70s and even their 80s who started broccoli sprouts and saw their numbers improve within 4 to 6 months. Your body still wants to heal. Your kidneys still want to work. They just need the right inputs. Give them those inputs every single day, and they will reward you with another decade or two of independent, energetic living. That is what we are fighting for here. Not just numbers on a lab report. Independence, energy, time with your family, time on this earth, doing the things you love, without dialysis chairs and hospital appointments dictating your week. Now here are the 3 things I want you to do right now before you leave this video. First, comment below. Tell me your age, tell me where you are watching from, and tell me whether you are going to start eating broccoli sprouts this week. Even 1 tablespoon a day is a start. I read every single comment that comes through, and I genuinely want to know who I am talking to. The community we are building here matters. Second, please hit that like button. It is completely free. It takes 1 second, and it tells YouTube to send this video to thousands more seniors who desperately need this exact information. Imagine if 10,000 of you started broccoli sprouts this week. We could collectively protect more kidneys than any single hospital in this country protects in a year. That is the power of this community. Third, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. I made a follow-up video about the 5 morning habits that lower creatinine naturally after 60. It is the perfect next step after this one. It pairs with everything I just told you. Click it now before you forget, and watch it with the same focus you brought to this video. This is Active Seniors. Take care of those kidneys. They have to last you another 30 years.